All right. Um, hey everyone. It's me. Sorry that you haven't heard so long from me. It's been kind of hard for me to sort of communicate with you guys. I think that this is not really an excuse um for, my fucking missing internet presence. But yeah, I wanted to make this video to sort of give you guys a very, very, very deep look into what's been going on, why I was hesitant to tell you guys via DMs. Um, you know, and it's been very stressful recently for me, and I have felt embarrassed to let you guys know what was going on. So, I wanted to make this video so I can say everything that needs to be said very clearly, hopefully. And yeah, this is gonna be a one take thing. If I fuck up, then please forgive me. I do make mistakes. It's gonna be a very long video, just warning you. So I will put timestamps in probably for the people that want to kind of skip through the important parts. um yeah, I don't really have a script for anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and through some bullet points. That's the only thing I have really made. Um, but yeah, originally I actually thought that I was going to make this private, but then I realized that I have actually had some people come over from YouTube and look at my channel and hopefully enjoy it. So I'm gonna upload this openly. Anyone that sees this, you are going to know how I feel. Sorry for venting already. It's one thing I do say a lot is sorry, and you'll hear this entire video. Um, but yeah, I have said sorry already for not being able to communicate, and here's gonna be the reasons why. Uh, First off, it's been very stressful. As I said, I have started a job. Finally, I work 8 hours 45 minutes each day, 4 days a week, so 35 hours a week, which some people might say, like, yeah, that's easy. I do more hours. I sometimes do 10 hours and whatnot. But yeah, this is my first proper job. This into as an introduction is pretty tough, but I really enjoy the job. It's a very cool thing. The only thing I don't really like is being in work with my brother. And um yeah. uh yeah, here we go. The reasons, why I've been hesitant to even give you guys any info is because, I was embarrassed that, I wasn't streaming for a while, and I sort of left the topic of streaming, just, I left it bubbling. And it's kind of hard for me to say that I'm not going to stream. And so I sort of just let that, just kind of drift off, and I let it, I just wanted to see that it wouldn't cause too much of an issue. But I feel like not telling you now is just the worst thing I could do. So, yeah, here you go. But yeah, I just felt really embarrassed to make an announcement now and talk about all these things, and it's just not a thing I personally like to do. Um, yeah, I now went over me not streaming. I wanted to sort of give you guys an info on why that really is. There is quite a few reasons I actually have, and yeah, we'll go over a few now. Now, the main reasons I personally have is I have loads of stress, as I've said like 3 times now, I think. There's work, there's family, there's um friends, there's I'm gonna go do my driver's license soon. I'm actually, after I record this video, I'm gonna go to the driving school, and I'm gonna actually start, or I'm gonna go ahead and ask for the amount that it's gonna cost and everything, and I'm gonna pay um, the amount that is needed. So from now on, I'm actually gonna have driving lessons as well, which is gonna also increase the stress. Um, but yeah, just general lots of stress. Now, the biggest issue and the biggest reason to why I've not been streaming recently is just the issues with my brother. This is gonna be probably the longest segment of today's video, so yeah. What the fuck has been going on with my brother? I know I let you guys know of some issues, but no one really has a full understanding of what's been going on, and I feel like some of you guys might think that okay, I can't say this because this actually happened, but yeah, some of you guys think that we might just kill each other, which no, we're not gonna do. But yeah. So the whole thing with my brother has started a couple of weeks ago, where he has just been on my nerves all day, every day with his behavior. Now, this, I don't know where this is coming from. I really don't. I know some things that I'm not going to say about my brother. I won't. It could be some sort of no. It could be some sort of, issue with some friends or whatever. But for some reason, my brother has been just absolutely killing my mood every day for the last couple of weeks. It's been so annoying. I've found it hard to deal with, very much so. Um, from just him being a smartass about everything and actually just being completely wrong with most of the things that he said, to him getting my bike stolen, which was worth 620 euros when we bought it, which is a substantial amount for all the people in the US. I think you guys all know that. Then, for example, also, like, we had an argument recently where, I was feeling tired from school and everything, and went downstairs, and I no, no, my brother actually asked me upstairs if I wanted to play table tennis with him. I really didn't, but I know it makes him happy, so I went downstairs with him, and he started to be a smartass again, saying that, the wind doesn't affect a ping pong ball and everything, and it was just complete BS because there was strong winds and the ball was just getting blown around, and I said, like, hey, it doesn't really work to play out in this weather, and he's like, nah, man, it's fine, you're just bad. And I was like, dude, I'm just here because of you. And then after a while of smartassing and him trying to be smarter than me, I was like, hey, man, I don't want to play. And he's like, come on, don't be like this. And I'm like, be like what? And he's like, don't be a dick about it. And I'm like, no, man, I just don't want to play, right? I gotta say, not the smartest move, but I'm just super pissed. I just go inside. He yells at me. He says, like, at least help me clean it up. And I'm like, come on, man, just leave me alone, man. And this gets him very pissed. He actually gets so mad that he throws the no joke, we have like a big glass sliding door, and he throws his ping pong racket at the glass door, which I don't know about you guys, but is a very fucking dumb thing to do. And I don't know why I got mad at that, but I immediately turned around, started, like, I ripped open the door and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, I was not feeling good. It's not a smart move for me. I should have just walked away and let my mom handle that. I was like, are you trying to fucking break stuff for my mother and shit? It just not a good way to deal with things. But I was just tired from his bullshit. It's been going on for weeks, as I said, even months, I would actually say. So, things go down. You know, I say we both say something stupid. He calls me a dumb fucking idiot. I say, do you want to fucking go? And my mother pulls me on my, like, she pulls my shirt back so that I can't just go out and start fighting with my brother. And, you know, he stands there ready to fight. And I'm like, Mom, like, that's the stupid ass thought that I had in my mind. And whenever I get aggressive, that's the thought I have, that, like, he needs a beating to understand finally, because this has been going on for like, this sort of behavior has been going on for years, but it's been really bad since, like, months, and it's been really just draining. And so I'm like, he needs this beating to finally fucking understand what he's doing wrong, right? He doesn't understand words. He needs a fist, which was stupid. And I look her in the eye, and she gives me the death stare, like, if you don't walk away, like, I am going to, like, kill you. Like, she gives me those, like, mother eyes, right? So I back off. I'm livid. And I think that's when I made an announcement to you guys that I'm not going to stream. Like, I had everything prepared. I was just pissed. I was mad to the core. Just dumbfounded how my brother can disrespect me like that, and just, you know, like, I just went downstairs because of him. I did not want to play table tennis. I just go downstairs because he has asked me so nicely, and, you know, I know that he enjoys playing table tennis and everything, and I'm just not, I didn't feel like it. But yeah, I understand that he didn't know that, right? So then a few days pass. I am still livid at him, sort of, you know. I'm just mad. But yeah, a few days, even a week passes, and my job starts, right? And super excited. First day was pretty cool. Second day was also pretty all right. First day I just got there on my own, you know. I drove to the office first to get my onboarding, to, you know, understand everything that needs to be done. And everything's going well. Drive to the office and everything's cool. My brother's not in the office, so have a great time, and yeah, get home, feel good. Second day, my brother takes my red 620 euro bike, and I'm totally fine with it, because I'm like, you know, like, he's not gonna do anything stupid with it. Spoiler, he does. So we drive to work together. I take my downhill bike, like my really expensive bike, 1,720 euros bike. And on the first day, I've been told that, you know, you can always put your bike in. We have enough room in the warehouse. There's no problem with that whatsoever. We get to work, and my brother gets off the bike, and he just leans it to the wall. I'm like, I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm like, hey, fucking take the bike inside. What are you doing? He's like, nah, man. I'm like, what the fuck? What? No, put the bike inside. He's like, why should I do that? I'm like, because it's gonna get stolen, and it's my bike. He's like, nah, man, I know every UPS driver that works here. There's not gonna be a problem. I'm like, yo, you're gonna drive with something else if you don't put that bike inside. And he's like, nah, man, why? What are you saying, man? It's not gonna get stolen, and even if, I will pay it if it's gone. So I'm like, okay, let's teach him a fucking lesson, right? I didn't actually think it was gonna get stolen. Like, I actually didn't think. I also thought that, you know, there's no one gonna, like, nobody's gonna, it's like a far off alley in a sort of deserted shopping mall. Actually, our warehouse is inside of that shopping mall, and it is an old, like, grocery store. Right? This is a huge building that has almost been completely abandoned, and the only things that are there is, like, a trampoline park and, like, a go-kart alley that was built in a garage. So, literally, it's an abandoned old building, right? And no one, apart from, like, UPS drivers, goes back there. So, yeah, I also didn't think that it was gonna get stolen, but I'm like, yo, if it's gone, you're done. we finished work and I'm feeling good, right? We did a lot. We accomplished a lot. We got down to 0 orders out of like 500. And I felt good. I felt good. 500 processed orders is pretty fucking good for a second day. So, yeah. Go outside and my brother says, "Hey, where's the bike?" I don't see it because it's behind a container because he already jumped down and didn't see the bike. And I'm like, "Ha, nice joke, you know." And then he's like, "Nah, I'm serious. Where's the bike?" And I go down the stairs, still prepared to see my bike, and it's gone. And I am fucking livid. I am so pissed off at him. I am yelling in my mind, but because there's a coworker, I sort of keep a cool outside, right? I am like freaking out inside, trying to not yell every swear word I know at my brother. Yeah, I tell him to make sure to go and find it. Like, I mean, go, there's cameras there, fucking go inside now to the guy that owns the shop and ask if you can see the camera footage, and they thankfully show us the footage. The guy was nice enough to sort of skip through a lot of the footage, which took like half an hour, I think. So half an hour of his time that could have been spent working was wasted helping us, which I really appreciate. And we eventually get a picture of the guy's face with sunglasses on. Ironically, he was very cool riding off into that bike, right? Sunglasses, like a really cool jacket, right? Ripped jeans and everything, like the super cool, like I'ma steal your girl type of dude. It's fucking an awful person. And in one hand, the cigarette, of course, because he's so goddamn cool, riding off into the sunset with my bike, right? We also get a picture of a truck that we don't know what it is, but we're 100% sure it has to be a delivery truck because, only delivery trucks go in that alley. So we suspect it was the UPS driver because it sort of matches up with the time that he was there, but not really, because the UPS drivers actually spent a lot of time waiting in the alley before they actually got to us, because pickup times were they were here way too early. I think about an hour or two too early, just wrong time. Anyways, we ask for screenshots of the pictures and everything, and he does make 2 screenshots of one of the face and one of the car, and he sends it to my boss because they both know each other. And yeah, next day happens. I am pissed. I am like so fucking mad. And that's where the fights sort of begin. I mean, no, on the first day already, when I got home, I was livid. Like, I was goddamn pissed off to like a degree that haven't felt in a while. So yeah, in the evening, you know, I see him and I'm like, "Well, what are you gonna do now?" He's like, "Yeah, nothing, man. Like, what am I supposed to do?" I'm like, "Fucking go to the police now." My mother's like, "Yeah, we're going to the police now." And he's like, "Okay." Well, so they go to the police, they make a claim that a bike has been stolen, and they show the pictures, and they give all their details, and they have the receipt of the bike and everything, and it's a solid case. Like, I mean, we have a picture of the guy's face, we have a picture of the car that they used. You can't see the license plate number, but fuck it. So while I go to bed, like, I'm sort of hoping that it was a UPS driver because I'm sure that they might return eventually, right? Spoiler alert, they did. And so yeah, second day arrives. The guys, you know, like, I'm fucking furious in the morning. Like, I go to work pissed and I'm just so fucking mad. I go to work and yeah, just talking. Oh no, I forgot. I skipped a huge part. Oh, I skipped a huge part. No, that part's coming. I just realized. Sorry, it happened on the second day, right? So, second day arrives. I go to work. The coworker that left with us was like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Like, I'm just pissed off because he didn't listen to me. He just fucking ignored what I said, and now my bike's gone. And just sort of vent to him, which wasn't a good idea. You're not supposed to fight with family on like with anyone in the workplace. So, yeah, but the guy's chill. I really trust him, and he's a cool guy. So yeah, we just talk about it, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I understand why you're pissed. Like, it's just a shit situation." And yeah, work ensues, and I do not want to see my brother, but he is there as well during work, and I'm just mad. It's Wednesday by now, by the way, everyone. So yeah, boss also is there and is like, "Hey man, like I heard there's been a bike theft in like the area." Like our boss didn't know that it was my bike, so that he just we have like a company-wide messaging service called Slack, where everyone sort of messages. Yeah, I can send. It's similar to Discord, if you guys want to know. So yeah, they posted in a channel there that a bike has been stolen from our workplace, and they don't know who it is and stuff. And so my boss actually comes to me and says like, "Hey, there's been a bike theft. Do you know anything of it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my bike." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, yeah, it was mine. It got stolen yesterday because my brother didn't secure it, like I told him to. And just a quick thing, to make you guys understand, my brother cannot face criticism to him, especially in front of other people. My brother wants to conceal his conserve his image in front of people, right, that are not family, and he doesn't even manage to understand his errors when it's his family, right? So he tells me like, "Nah, come on, you still talking about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am talking about this because it's my bike that you managed to get stolen and everything. I shouldn't have done that. We're in front of our boss and we're fighting, but yeah, it had to be said. Like, I was livid and I had to vent it somehow. Otherwise, I would have just fucking, I don't know." So yeah, we talk about it, and eventually my other boss sends a message. Like my other the first boss that I talked about left again to go to the office, and my other boss that was also there, um he checked up on like what's going on outside, and he actually saw the truck that was seen on the photo, right? And you could see like the only thing that you could make out to sort of identify the van was a small like flag that he had in his windshield, which we saw on that truck, so we knew it was that car. Mind you, by the way, real quick, I forgot to add something. The bike thief didn't actually put the bike in a truck or anything. He just drove away with the bike, right? He didn't use that truck to get anywhere. He just was dropped off there by our UPS driver. So yeah, we're suspicious. So we go out, me and my brother, and we take a picture of the license plate. It's a license plate from Vienna, so that's pretty common because most trucks are somehow rented or used from Vienna, because most of the big companies have their headquarters in Vienna, and that's where they come from. That's where they're registered to. So yeah, we have the license plate. We have a picture of the license plate. But the driver sees us taking a picture of his license plate, and so he comes up, asks us what we're doing in very broken English, and we try to explain to him in German. He does not understand German. We try to explain it to him in English. He does not understand English. So he gets out his translator app on his phone, and he puts in like a text like, "What?" and it translates to, "Why are you taking a picture of my license plate?" My brother does the talking because I don't fucking want to deal with this. This isn't like my thing to get back. It's my brother's, right? I know it's a bit of a stupid stance, but my brother got it stolen, and he's gonna make sure that it's gonna be back, right? So I'm gonna let him do the talking for me because fuck yeah, that's why. So Uh, we do talk, and he's like, no, I didn't steal a bike or anything. And we're like, no, not you. We saw this vehicle as a bike thief drove away with my bike. So we suspect it's you. He was with you, right? There was someone with you. Then, like, you know, I'm just silently sitting there, like, you know, just waiting and waiting. And yeah, we talk and everything, and it's over, and it's not the guy. We know that he doesn't have the dude that we saw didn't have a beard, but we saw that there was someone sleeping in the front of the van and had his legs out, and just, you know. So I just quickly went in front, took a look, and he sort of looked like the guy, but the guy on the picture looked older. So I was like, ah, it's probably not him. So yeah, we go inside and continue work, and we tell everyone we have a picture of the license plate, so, you know, we're gonna get police involved in everything. Yeah, after a while, they, you know, the UPS driver, the pickup time has arrived, so they go inside and pick up the packages, and usually it's only one guy, but now it's two guys. And what I assume had happened was the driver probably knew of the theft. He probably knew. This is what I'm gonna assume. This is all just assumptions. So, you know, the driver probably knew that the, you know, it was an apprentice, by the way, that the apprentice was stealing the bike. So that's why he was a bit nervous when we talked to him about it, which he was. And he probably went to his colleague that was sleeping in the front, his apprentice, and asked him, or like told him about that. You know, we have a picture of the license plate, we have a face and everything, and he probably told him that, you know, he should apologize. So the two guys come in, and the apprentice asks, like, hey guys, did you know there was a theft recently, yesterday, here? And we're like, yeah. He's like, there was a bike stolen, right? I was like, yeah, my bike was stolen. And he looks at me, gets out his phone. He was also, those two guys, by the way, were Slovaks, and they could not speak a single word of German, basically. So he gets out his translator app and puts in a lot of words. And just a shitty explanation. He's like, I did not, like, because it's a translator voice, I'm not gonna do his accent. But he was like, I didn't steal it out of, like, being mean or anything. I didn't want to gain any money from it. I was just bored. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? So I'm super fucking mad again. I have been for a week by now, basically. And it's been just skyrocketing in the last couple of days. So I go outside, right? I instantly, like, call my mom, text her, like, she doesn't pick up. I text her, like, hey, the dude's here. Like, Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do, right? So I go back inside, and since I've calmed down a bit, and they actually asked for me, and the dude enters something into his phone again, and he's like, what he typed out was like, what was it, like, yeah, I want to apologize to you, like, I will give you money for the inconvenience, and I promise I will bring that the bike back tomorrow, right? So he offered me $50, and at the time I did not fucking know that what I was about to do was majorly illegal. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, I didn't care. I wanted to get over with. I don't want to deal with the police. I just want my bike. And so I was like, yeah, sure, let's get this over with as quick as possible. So I get the bike back. No, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. No, I just went back to work, and he apologized like a bunch of times again. And he was like, is there gonna be problem with police? I'm like, nah, man, I'm not gonna call the police or anything. But yeah. So my mother calls back, and you know, she asked me like, "Hey, what the fuck? I just read your messages and everything. What the fuck's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, the dude's here, and we agreed that I'll get some money, and he's gonna bring the bike back tomorrow, and it's all gonna be fine." She's like, "No, we're not gonna do that. What you're about to do is illegal. Let's not. No." So I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, we have to contact the police because what you're doing is accepting a bribe." I'm like, "Oh shit, you're right." So my mother contacts the police. I thought that she was gonna handle this all, but no, I get a call from a private number, like my mother always does from when she's at work. Whenever my mom's at work, she calls me from a private number because it's the company phone. And I received 2 phone calls from her earlier with a private number. So I get another call from a private number, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it's silent, and I'm like, "Or is this the police?" And he's like, "Yep." So I'm like, "I'm sorry, I thought you were my mother. My mother always calls me from a private number when she's at work." And he's like, "Oh, I thought of that, no worries." So this guy was like, I greeted a police officer with, "Hey, what's up?" So, or actually, it's sort of a really, really informal greeting. It's like servus. If anyone speaks German, you'll understand, but it's like a very, like, very informal. So that was pretty embarrassing start to the whole conversation, but my mother explained a lot to him. So I talked to the dude, and he's like, "Please describe the man that you saw." And I was like, "He is Slavic. He has he's lots of tan. He is in his like 20s. He has short hair. He's wearing a tank top right now. He has shorts on. You know, just his stature, like he is well built. He's lots of muscles. And he's about 180 centimeters tall and everything. Just, you know, general stuff." And then they asked me for the name. I'm like, "I don't know. But I can ask him." And he's like, "Wait a minute. You can ask him." I was like, "Yeah, he's right. He's here right now." He's like, "Oh, wait. Okay, so he's here with you right now." I'm like, "Yeah. The dude that stole your bike is with you right now." I'm like, "Yeah." So he says like, "I heard from your mother that he offered you 50 euros. Did you take that?" I'm like, "No." Right. Uh, and so he's like, "Well, please go outside to the guy and let me talk to him." And I was so uncomfortable at the time already because I promised the dude a couple minutes earlier that there was no police consequences, right? But yeah, my mother informed the police before I could even talk to her again because I didn't want the police to be involved. You know, it was not something on my mind. I just wanted to get it over with. I wanted to get my bike and over with it. Actually, contacting the police got me my bike faster, so it was actually a good idea that I did that. So the police, like, I go out and I'm like, hey, dude, it's the police. They found out that, you know, you were here, and they already have your face and everything. They know what vehicle you drove in, and there's an open investigation, and I cannot tell them to stop it because it's already an ongoing investigation, and they already have resources put into that. And yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, I can't stop this. So he's like, what? And so I'm like, yeah, it's the policeman. They want to talk to you. So I hand him the phone, and this very Austrian police officer talks to this Slovak that cannot understand a word of German. And so after like 5 seconds, I get the phone back, and the police officer is like, he doesn't understand German, does he? I'm like, no, he doesn't. And so the police officer asks me to translate into English for him, please, because of course he does. So, you know, I translate everything he asks me. I have to take a picture of the guy's ID and send it to the police, and I do that. I have to get his name and everything, and where he's from, but whatever, and when he was born. And just, yeah, I feel fucking terrible. Just, I'm standing here next to the guy that I just promised I wouldn't call the cops on. And now I am getting his information for the police. So I just felt horrible. But yeah, so I get the guy's info and the police tells me like, okay, all right. So what we'll do now is I'll send over a patrol car to you. Where are you now? I'm like, I'm at abandoned shopping mall. I'm not gonna obviously say the name of my workplace, but I say the address, and he's like, ah, okay, all right. And then he hands me off to a female officer, which is the patrol car. So she's like, all right, where exactly are you? I'm like, I'm at this location, and I'm at this area of another big store that has lots of signs to point it to where its loading bay was, which is where we were, because we share a loading bay with that store. So the police arrives after 15 minutes of absolute just terrible time of me sitting next to him, because the police officer told me that I have to sit next to him to make sure that he doesn't run away. And they call me again and they say like, okay, the patrol car is en route. It's gonna take about 15 minutes. So yeah, just stay with the dude and yeah, wait there. So in these 15 minutes, the guy asks me like all sorts of questions that I have no way of answering. Like, what is gonna happen to me? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Am I going to jail? I don't know, man. Is this gonna affect my work? I don't know, man. I'm guessing so. Do you think it's gonna be a fine or jail time? I'm like, I don't know, man. And this goes on for 15 minutes. And I'm starting to feel really bad, right? Like, I'm just like, damn. So police arrives and I have to like flag them down because they're looking for the place. And I'm like, hey, we're here. Boom. So I greet them. I'm like, you know, a very formal way this time because I didn't want to fuck up again. So I greet them and, you know, yeah, shit just goes down. Yeah, they ask me what happened. I explain to them the exact story. So, you know, bike was stolen. We have his face on the camera. We have the vehicle on camera. He drove off with it and he came back and we confronted him and he offered me money. And they're like, did you take it? I'm like, no, I didn't. And yeah, so I just talked to the police and then he asks me, so wait, you have pictures of this guy's face, right? I'm like, yeah, we do. So yeah, let's get those pictures. I'm like, okay, let's go. So, I went ahead with the police officer inside and I told him like, hey, I'm like feeling bad because, you know, I told this guy that I wasn't going to involve the police because, you know, I didn't see that big of a deal with it. And he's like, don't worry, man. If this guy committed one crime, there might be a possibility that there's going to be more and you might be onto something here. So I'm like, okay, at least I feel a bit better after that, right? So I go inside, I show him the pictures on the PC that we have from, you know, the work group that, you know, they were sent in there. So I send the pictures to the police officer, his email address and everything, and he's like, okay, thank you. So I go outside again, and the female police officer is taking his the thief's persona, so, you know, his name, his age, where he lives and everything, address, whatever. So I stand there with them again, and the thief asks like, you know, what is going to happen? Like, what are you doing now? Like, I told him that I was going to give him the bike back, and then the police officer shuts him down, and she's like, you know what you did was illegal, right? You know, you stole something, right? You're going to go to court. And he's like, court? What is that? So I translate it for him on Google, and he's like, court? And she's like, yeah, you're going to court, and you're gonna be charged and whatever. And then, you know, he says again, like, but I told him I would bring the bike. And she's like, that doesn't matter, you stole. Like, there's no getting out of this. What you did was illegal. And so yeah, it just, yeah. Then she says, well, you said you were gonna give him the bike back tomorrow, right? And I answered for him. I was like, yeah, we agreed on that. And then she was like, well, how about we change that? And she looks him in the eyes and says, you have to bring it today. And I'm like, all right, okay, I'm fine with that. And he's like, today? She's like, yeah, today. And he's like, no, I said I would do it tomorrow. And she says, with like the most stern look on her face, but I just told you that you're gonna bring it today, if you can. And he looks at his colleague, speaks something in Slovakian, and he says 4 p.m. To me, and I'm like, sure, I'll be here. Like, I gotta work till 5 anyways, so I'm fine with that. So the police said, okay, so what's gonna happen now is you're gonna bring the bike at 4 p.m. Then she looks at me. You go ahead and call the police station that called you. She gives me a card where the number's on. And you tell us at 4 p.m. if he brought the bike. If he didn't, we're gonna find this guy. If he does, that's fine. So I'm like, okay, right. So I thank them for everything, and I go inside, and yeah, my brother is inside waiting. And I go inside, tell my coworker, like, hey man, I kind of feel bad, man, because I told them that I wasn't gonna call the police or involve them in any way, and then I had to call them because my mother, or I had to, you know, work with them because my mother called them as well. And then my brother looks me in the eyes. Now, I was already pissed at him because my bike was gone because of him, and he hasn't apologized yet. He still hasn't, by the way. To this day, right now as I'm recording this, he still has not apologized. My brother looks me straight into the fucking eyes and says to me, you know you're at fault for this, right? I like, I have shock in my eyes, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If like, and he repeats himself, you know, you're at fault for making this guy lose his job now. And I fucking lose it in front of my coworker, which is the chill coworker, but still a coworker. Not a good idea. Don't do that. I'm like, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? Something that I said, which is not true in any way, shape, or form, is the actual person that is at fault would be you, because if you didn't fucking leave it outside like the idiot you are, then I would still have the bike and the dude would still have his job. Technically not true, because, you know, the person that actually is at fault for losing their job is the dude that fucking stole the bike, right? So it's neither my brother's fault nor mine. The only thing that my brother is at fault for is for getting my bike stolen, for not listening to my advice and thinking that he is smarter than me. So yeah, I fucking lose it. I berate him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're at fault for this shit, you dumbass, and everything. And I insult him and everything. I calm down again because I know we're at work, and everything is just kind of quiet, and just, yeah. I silently finish my work, and he leaves before me so he can attend like a meeting and anything, or anything. I have to stay in the warehouse because of the bike. So I'm alone at 10 minutes before 4 p.m. The guy enters the warehouse. He knows where it is because, you know, he usually picks up our packages with bike in hand. I'm happy about that. I really am. And so, yeah, I talk to him again. And I say that I'm going to call the police again to make sure that they know that the bike is here. So I do that, and I tell them that, you know, the bike's here and everything's fine. The police officer tells me, all right, so yeah, good. Fine. So then the thief asked me, like, what did you tell them? I'm like, I just said that you brought me the bike back and everything. And he asked me again, like, do you know did they tell you what's going to happen? I'm like, I have no clue. The police is going to have to tell you. And so I said, hey, I'm sorry, man, that the police got involved. And he says, no, I'm sorry, man. I should be apologizing. And so, yeah, I part ways, and yeah, that's that. I go back inside, finish my work, and I go home, and I am fucking so mad still at the thing that my brother said to me. Like, I am just, yeah, not feeling well. Then I vent to my stepfather, and I think we have guests actually at the time. And I vent to him, like, my brother just fucking told me that I was at... No, we didn't actually have guests. Told me that I was at fault and everything, what a dumbass he is, and he hears all this, and he's like, we just fight again, stupid. I can't even remember what I said there. I just went upstairs and fucking just left him alone. I didn't want to deal with that. So, yeah, another day passes, and from that day on, I locked both of my bikes. I'm not going to allow my brother to ride any of my bikes anytime in the future. The reason for that is I've always given him stuff. I've always borrowed him stuff, and he's never honored it in any way, shape, or form. And there's no reason for me to even trust him any bit more anymore. I've lent him money that he has taken months to give me back. I have, in the entire time of me living, I've probably given him around 1,000 euros, and yeah, like, yeah, he has paid back most of it, but he still has some fucking money that he owes me right now. It's not much, like 20 euros, but still, it's been missing for about a month. So, yeah, you know, I'd like to have that back. But, yeah. Another day passes at work. I don't talk to my brother, in the morning. I just get ready. I unlock my bike and lock my downhill bike, my like, alone, and I ride off to work. Now, my brother rode to work the day before with my mother's bike without her permission, by the way. Just saying. So, yeah, he rode away with that. And no. I'm on that day. Sorry. On that day, I rode away with my bike, with my red bike, because it's just more comfortable to ride to work with. And yeah, so I rode with that. I chained my downhill bike, and he was expecting to go with my bike to work, because why not, right? So yeah, no, he doesn't have my bike, and my mother doesn't allow him to take hers because he was supposed to, you know. No, actually, I think I did fuck up. I think that I forgot to tell you guys. Yeah, on the day that... Yeah, right. On the day where we caught the thief, I went to work with my downhill bike, and he should have gone there by car or by foot or whatever. But my brother went with my mother's bike, which she did not allow. And so I was at work with my bike, and he was at work with his. And with his mother, with our mothers, and she got furious at him, and he actually had to leave the bike and home because he drove back with mine, I think, or I don't know, can't remember. But yeah, no, actually, I can't remember what exactly happened, but at some day, I went with my red bike, and he wanted to go with that, and I didn't, of course, let him, because it's my bike, and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, and he went with my mother's bike, and yeah. So, at some point, he left my mother's bike at work. And I'm like, okay, if you want to do that, then okay. So he, of course, thought that he was going to be able to ride my bike because I'm going to take the downhill bike. No, fuck you. I took my red bike, drove to work, like I usually do. And then my brother calls me. He's like, where are you? Where's the red bike? I'm like, I'm at work with it. He's like, why are you taking that bike? I was gonna ride that. I was like, no, it's my bike. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, and I ride to work with it. He's like, well, why aren't you taking your expensive bike? Isn't it so expensive because it's so good to ride? I'm like, no, it's not. It's expensive because of the parts, and it is definitely not meant for riding, and it's way more exhausting, and I don't want to be sweaty at work. He's like, well, then I'm gonna have to take your bike. I'm like, no, you're not. Because, guess what? I started locking my bikes because I knew that he was gonna try to take one of mine. So I tell him, like, no, you're not. He's like, why? I'm like, because I locked them. He's like, you're such an asshole. You fucking idiot. Why you gotta be like this? I'm like, it's my fucking property. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. So he tells me, well, good luck then. You're gonna have to wait 30 more minutes till you can get into work. I was sitting in front of my workplace, actually, because I couldn't get in because my brother had the key and I forgot to ask him to give me it in the morning. So I was sitting in front of it. And he was like, hey, have fun waiting another 30 minutes then because I gotta walk now. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I really did not care. So I sat there, waited for him, and I didn't say anything to him. He opened the door. I walk in, get ready, like I have my headphones on already and everything. And he just says like, well, have fun staying till 7 p.m. now, idiot. That's all just because you're a dumbass. And I'm like, I do not give a fuck. And that got him mad because he wanted the reaction. So he was like, you're such a fucking asshole, man. Why the fuck won't you let me take your bike? I'm like, because the last time you took it, it was fucking gone. He's like, but that wasn't my fault. I was like, yes, it was your fault. And I don't care. It's my bike. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. And then he says like, but I told you, man, like I'm gonna pay you if it was gone. I was like, I like he was sitting down at his desk, so I had like a fucking what's it called, like a cupboard between me and him, like just a storage fucking closet, whatever. And it's like just a frame with some wooden like planks on it, and they're spaced out, and you can just look through them. And like I bent down to look him in the eyes and say to his face, name I'm not gonna say, you don't even have any money to be able to pay me back. So that promise that you said you were gonna pay me back is not worth anything. And he's like, he smashes the fucking desk, his work desk, and he's like, that's why I'm fucking working. And I just like, I don't give a fuck. Just, yeah. I turn on my headphones, turn on the music, and start working. And yeah, just life goes on and on and on and on and on. And that day passes. And then I get back home earlier than him because, you know, I was faster with my work and I had less hours than him, and it's fucking fine. I get back home and we have guests over. It's Friday by now. So yeah, I talked to the father of a good old friend of mine that I don't really have contact with anymore, but by now, but yeah. So I talked to that father and I'm like, yeah, well, my bike got stolen recently. I explained it, the entire story I just told you guys, just in a bit less detailed manner. And my brother hears it and he just, are you still talking about that? I'm like, yes, I am, because it's still pissing me off. And he's like, why would it be pissing you off? Because I'm like, you haven't even apologized to me, right? And you've accused me of making that guy lose his job. What the fuck is wrong with you? And now, fucking shock number 2 moment arrives, where he again looks me dead in the eyes and tells me, well, I'm not at fault for anything. The fuck do you mean? I'm like, are you fucking dumb? Like, yeah, no, sorry. He said, I'm not at your fault for anything. I don't need to apologize for anything. I look him in the eyes and say, the fuck is wrong with you again? Like, I say that a lot to him. And so he's like, why would I need to apologize? I'm like, because of you, my bike got stolen. What the fuck? He's like, no, it wasn't because of me. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyways, just stop it, because we're in front of a cool guy that, you know, I really respect, and I don't want to start arguing in front of fucking relatives and stuff. Now, again, spoiler alert, I am not going to like this party, for a reason that I'm gonna explain later. So yeah, some other cool guests arrive. I go inside my room first to, you know, cool off a bit and just fucking get my molding out. So yeah, I go downstairs again later, and yeah, there's some more guests and we have a good time and everything, and I just completely ignore my brother, and I talk to my stepfather about some things. And in general, I'm just in a bad mood, but I'm having fun with the people I like, at least. So I'm sort of enjoying the time that I have with my family and friends. So, yeah, at some point, my mother does like the glass thing where she asks everyone to be quiet. And I'm talking to my stepfather because we're talking about some interesting military stuff. And like, she didn't have like the glass, but she was like, can everyone, like, she was like, psh, be quiet, everyone. I'm like, no, like, I kept on talking. And then she's like, Florian. I'm like, military stuff, military stuff. No one cares, apart from me and my stepfather. And then she says again, like, Florian, be quiet. I'm like, Mom, I don't care what's going on right now. And she gives me the death stare again, and I know, okay, something important is going on. And then I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then I understand why we have guests over. See, we have a close family friend that, you know, he's always sort of wanted a godchild, right? Because, you know, he's a cool guy and I really like him. But yeah, he has chosen my brother to be his godchild. It's not actually his real godchild, it's just an honorary godchild thing. But yeah, this party was to celebrate that my brother was the honorary godchild of that awesome friend of the family. And now two things hit me. Anger, because those guests are here to celebrate someone I am absolutely hating right now. And second of all, jealousy. Now, you might be saying, oh, well, that's stupid. Yes, absolutely, I agree. Being jealous over something like that is very fucking childish. But let me explain. When we were kids, I always felt like my brother got like sort of the better treatment from all his uncles. His godfather always took him on godchild trips, and it was really cool. And I never got that. I never went with my godfather to any sort of establishment. We never did anything together. And that was just, you know, as a kid, that made me jealous. And so now, you know, a person I really look up to and like I really respect tells me that he makes my brother, that I'm absolutely pissed at right now. He tells my brother that he wants him to be his honorary godchild, and he gives him like a really cool necklace that was custom made for him, and he gives him a keychain with his name engraved in it. It's a beer opener so that his teeth don't get hurt, because my brother's an idiot and opens beer bottles with his teeth. And he tells him that they're going to Prague for a weekend because he wants to see the city with his new honorary godchild. And I'm just jealous. I am so fucking jealous. So what I end up deciding to do is, because I'm sad and jealous and angry, I will just drink the evening away. I will make the best out of it as I can and everything, and I drink myself to sleep. Apparently my brother apologized while he was extremely drunk, but I'm not gonna count that. I really am not. I don't remember it. My mother wants to like ensure me of that, but I have no recognition of that, and I have a pretty clear understanding of what happened that night, so I don't think that, you know, it's he didn't apologize, I don't think. So then the next day, I'm still sad. I still am sad about that. I honestly gotta say, like, this person that I look up to, he could have made us both his godchildren, but he only chose my brother. I don't know why, but yeah. He's always gotten the better treatment from the family, I feel like. But anyways, my mother and stepfather asked me, like, hey man, we're going to this, like, place, like, a bar that is owned by a friend of the family that I've not seen in a while, and I have the biggest hangover ever. I fucking drank so much, like, high alcohol amount spirits. I had like a hangover of like a century. So I go ahead and say, like, I don't know, I have a hangover and everything, and I'm not feeling well, and just, I don't know. Then they're like, well, it's gonna be cool and everything, and your brother's not gonna be there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going. I thought originally that, my brother was gonna be there, and I'm gonna, yeah, no. So as soon as they told me my brother's not gonna be there, I was like, okay, I'm in. So I go there, repeat the same thing, drink myself to sleep. That was way worse than the other night. Like, I gotta say, I drank so much more than on the first night. So yeah, that all happened, and I still wasn't happy. Everything was still kind of pissing me off. It still is most of the time. So, and I originally also wanted to talk to my mother about a lot of things. I wanted me and my brother to sit down and for her to sort of mediate between me and my brother, because one thing about my brother is that he does not listen to me whatsoever. He does not take my words serious. I've seen it so many times that he does not recognize me as a same level person. It is insane. He always wants to argue with me about things that I know, like, for example, military stuff or about bicycles or whatever. And recently, he also tried to tell me that my bike was broken and that the thief screwed around on it somewhere and it's gonna have to get fixed. And I'm like, no, you're just braking like an idiot. That's why the brakes are making sounds, you moron. In my head, I'm like, no, man, the brakes are just fine. You were just braking like a dumbass. So, yeah, just everything fucking is pissing me off at the time. Still is. Just don't understand life. But yeah, so I go back to work on Monday and everything's just kind of feel betrayed by my mother because we haven't talked, although we said we would. Just felt awful on Monday. But then I got a text from a friend saying, like, hey man, we're going to this lake and, like, do you want to join us? And I'm like, yeah guys, I have to go with you guys. So I tell my boss that was there to help us out, like, hey, I'm gonna leave for some time with my friends a bit earlier. And he's like, okay, well, usually tell us that a bit earlier before Mondays. And I'm like, no, it's only gonna be about an hour. And he's like, oh, okay, good, all right. He thought that I was gonna leave at like 10 p.m. or something. AM. So no, I left at 5. I asked my mother if she can drive me a bit closer to my friends so that I'm not gonna be as late, because it would have taken me over an hour to get to that lake by myself. So she helped me a bit, and she picked, like, I went back home, and she drove me to work to pick up my brother again, and then she drove me a bit towards the place, right? And on the car ride to pick up my brother, she's like, why are you so sulky? Everything's gonna be fine. I'm like, yeah, everything's fine for you, not for me. Like, Jesus Christ. And she's like, just, oh well, then I guess we're gonna have to stop having you together, work together there. And I lose it. This woman has promised me to help me with the situation, because there's no way that I can resolve this with my brother. My brother's just gonna try to smack my face whenever I confront him about his mistakes, because he cannot fucking understand them. So I talked to my mother about it. and I go ahead and I yell at her, which I regret now. And I'm like, she accuses me of the both of us of being unprofessional, and I'm like, Mom, I have not talked about anything with my brother ever since everything happened. I have kept quiet, and every time there was a fight between me and him, he was the one that initiated it by saying some stupid shit about me. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, you know. And just, I explained to her what I've been thinking was happening, and I told her, like, oh, well, you don't care, apparently, right? You said you were gonna go ahead and talk with me and my brother, and I asked you multiple times, and you always told me, like, oh, no, I can't, no, I'm so tired. And I'm like, I'm tired as well. I also work 8 hours, 45 minutes a day now, like you. I am also tired, but this needs to be talked about. And my mother's like, oh, yeah, no, you know, we just talk and everything. And she's like, no, I do care and everything. Of course I do. It's just, you know, been tough for me as well. And we settle everything, and we get to a point where I'm like, okay, well, I've actually calmed down, and I've settled all the miscommunications, and I was totally fine. I was not angry at her whatsoever anymore. I didn't feel betrayed anymore. And she also told me that she's been talking to my brother a lot because he was showing really fucking annoying behavior to everyone, and it was just awful. So we pick him up, right? And my mother tells me that my grandpa is in hospital as well, and he is experiencing withdrawal from alcohol right now. And I ask a simple question to my mother. I've not talked to my brother unless it was about work in the entire day. And I ask my mother, can't they just, like, actually forcefully, you know, make him, like, withdraw? Like, can't they just do something about that? And then for some reason my brother tries to smartass again, and I shut him down before he can even make a sentence. He says a few like one or two words, and I'm like, name I'm not gonna say, shut up. I did not want to hear anything from you. I asked Mom, be quiet. He starts yelling again and just being a nuisance, and my mother steps in, and he's like, dude, name I'm not gonna say, be quiet. He was talking to me. He doesn't want to talk to you right now. And he's like, oh, well, I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to my toe. Hello, big toe. I wanted to say that withdrawal can actually kill someone. So if you were to do that to our grandpa, he would die. And I'm like sitting in front. How is this 19-year-old acting this fucking childishly that he cannot understand why I don't want to fucking listen to his bullshit? And so, yeah, my mother is like saying, like, we should all be quiet and everything. And I'm like, yeah, please, I just want to be quiet. I don't want to talk to him anymore. And just an awful fucking experience all around. And she drops me off, and before she drops me off, she's like, hey, we're gonna talk tonight. We haven't talked yet because I was tired after that day. So she dropped me off, and I go to the lake and everything, have a good time there, vent to my friends about what's been happening. They hadn't known yet, and they always understand why I'm mad, because there is every reason to be mad at my brother recently. By the way, real quick, just a quick thing. I'm sorry that I talked so much about this and talked so much in detail, but I think that you guys need a bit of detail to really understand where I am. Sorry, everyone. Also, everyone that listens to this point, thank you guys. Yeah, hope you understand. So yeah, that's sort of been the major no, oh shit, no. The biggest thing happened today. So today I wake up in the morning, and my brother is like, oh, am I gonna be able to take your bike today? I'm like, nope, that train has already left the station. He, of course, mad again because he doesn't understand why I don't let him use my bike anymore. Takes the, like, coffee cup and smashes it on, like, he just puts it down very hard on the coffee maker and everything. Just he's angry. And I just leave. I just took a shower. I go in there to dry off my hair with a blow dryer, and I lock the door because that's what I usually do, just not out of spite of him. That's just a thing that I always do when I go into the bathroom. Like that's a I was thinking that I was gonna shower. That's why I just closed the door and shut it. So he tries to open the door and then fucking bangs on it. He's like, "Let me get inside. I need to brush my teeth." And it's like, I'm fucking blow drying my hair right now. He's like, "I don't care." Fucking. I open him the door. He aggressively gets the fucking toothbrush and he knocks over the toothpaste and everything, trying to be tough and cool and whatever and intimidating. I, on the other hand, I'm just blow drying my hair. Don't give a shit what's going on. He finishes, right, and you spit out when you're done brushing your teeth. And so he's like, just fucking gurgling some water. And he does the, like, thing where he swirls the water around in his mouth using his cheeks. And then he's trying to intimidate me again, trying to get me to flinch. I literally did not fucking care. I did not move a single fucking millimeter. He quickly just looks at me, acts like he's gonna spit in my face, and then looks away. And then spits out aggressively. Aggressively. He fucking, like, squirted it out with the force of thunder, man. And so I'm like, wow, what did that bring you now? Cool, awesome. Like, I was pissed at this point, right? So, I finished blow drying my hair and everything is fine. I go upstairs, pack my rucksack, and yeah, I open my door and I hear yelling, "Florian, where the fuck is my deodorant?" I'm like, I don't know. I forgot that I took the deodorant with me in the rucksack that I had on me to the lake because I was sweating there and I knew that I was going to play volleyball and I didn't want to be too sweaty, right? So I didn't want to stink. So I took that with me. I don't know. And then he's like, "That's my property. If you want some deodorant, get your own." Because he was mad at me for not giving him my property, aka a 620 euro bike instead of like a $3 deodorant can. Wow. Cool. I remember, and I'm like, oh wait. I open my bag and I grab in and I'm like, no. While I have my hands in the fucking bag, he's like, "Oh, where's my deodorant? Where's my deodorant? Where's my deodorant?" Like mocking me, like because I told him, like, "Where's my fucking bike, man?" Like, And then I pulled it out, like I held it in front of his face, and I look him in the eye and say, "Well, the difference between me and you is I can actually return your stuff and not get it stolen." And of course, not a good thing to provoke him, but he has already provoked me enough this this morning. And I go away with the deodorant in my hand, and I don't actually return it, and I act like I'm gonna give it to him, and I pull it back and everything, and I keep on talking, like saying like, this is also not comparable to a fucking bike that you are wanting to take. So yeah, and with I threw the deodorant at him. Like I did like throw it. I just kind of just popped it over there. I didn't like throw it hard or anything. Just tossed it over, just so he can catch it. And he fucking fumbled and it almost hit his face and whatever because he took a step forward again and just fucking dumbass. And then he takes that deodorant can and acts like if he's going to smash it in my face. So I'm like, "Oh, okay, right, okay, yeah, fucking do it. Come on, do it. Give it to me. Right, be a big brother, right, and hit your fucking younger brother in the fucking face with a deodorant can. Do it, come on. Be that awesome big brother and everything." And I'm fucking mad at this point because I haven't vented in days. And this motherfucker has continuously been annoying me with his dumbass fucking logic. And I was like, "Come on, do it." And he's like, "Oh, Florian, better shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Oh, so what if I'm not gonna do that, huh? Come on, fucking try it. Do it. You won't." And then he just turns around. No, I say, "Oh, Yeah, the big proud brother, the cool awesome dude, right? Yeah, that's what you are. Yeah. He turns around, fucking yeets that deodorant can after me. I evade it. It hits the fucking sitting, like the bench that we have around our dining table. It fucking like the plastic deodorant cap from Axe bottles. It shatters and it gets everywhere, and it's like in 100 pieces, and deodorant spills everywhere because, you know, can was broken. And I turn around. I'm like, oh, wow, you're so fucking mature. You're so cool. You're such a cool big brother. You can handle all that stuff so well in comparison to me, right? You're so cool being aggressive and everything. And I'm trying to fucking to just get it all out of me. And he decides to throw a punch at me. I evade the punch, and that's enough to me. I am not proud of what follows here. And what I actually did afterwards is apologize to him for that exact action. Because he threw a punch at me that brought my fucking... That just brought me over the limit. I went on to shove him away. And while I was shoving him away, I rushed after him and I punched him in the gut like 5 times pretty fucking hard. I do not feel proud of this. I don't like violence, and I'm feeling kind of sick saying this now. And yeah, so I shoved him up the stairs and told him what a fucking idiot he was, and that I'm so proud to have him as my brother because he's so fucking cool. I acted childish as fuck there, but I was just so awfully just... I was so pissed, and I still am. So he then charges at me. I close the fucking glass door because I'm done with this shit. I would have punched him again if he came after me again. And I closed the glass door. He punches the glass door. We have 2 glass doors. We have a sliding door and we have a normal closing glass door. And he punched that closing glass door. And just makes the loudest bang ever. I just go outside. I need some fresh air. He is in the fucking... He is like looking at me through the sliding door. And I'm like, come on, you wanna fucking do it again? Go ahead and piss off, you fucking idiot. And so yeah, that went down, and I just... Yeah, I don't see him anymore. He goes away. I get my stuff. And then, yeah. I obviously didn't pack any lunch because I just literally had a fight with my brother. And then, you know, just... Apparently my brother called my mother and was like super confused to why we had that fight. He told my mother that he didn't know why I reacted that way after he threw a deodorant bottle at me so hard that the plastic cap shattered into hundreds of pieces, like small pieces, and the deodorant, like the top of it, was bent in so far that it like fucking had a hole in it. And then decided to throw a punch at me that I thankfully dodged because it was aimed at my head. He did not understand why I punched him after that. Right, so he called my mother and she called me while I was already at work. I was sitting in front of the work again because obviously I did not get the keys from my brother. So I sit there, I get a call from my mother. She explains to me that my brother was confused to why we had that fight and he wasn't sure why I reacted that way and everything. It just fucking bullshit. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm at work. I'm waiting for him to open the door. I sit there, wait. He does not say a word, and he's there with my stepfather's bike, which he's not allowed to touch, actually. He's not allowed to drive anywhere with it. And yeah, so... Yeah, he doesn't say a word. He swings open the door, but tries to pull it closed so I can't enter. Which is funny. I hold the door open. I just push it open again, put the door stop in. He walks off and doesn't say a word. We both don't say anything until a coworker arrives. We both greet him and everything. And we have to pretend like everything's fine again because we're in front of the coworkers. So, yeah. That all happened. And then, again, I told you guys, after a while, I felt so bad. Like, I don't like violence. I'm not a fighter, but when I have to, and when it's this much anger piled up, I couldn't hold it back. So I went up to him, apologized for hitting him, and he's like, yeah, it's fine. And then everything, you know, we acted normally in front of the co-workers and everything. Still livid about everything that happened today. Just, yeah, that has been the situation up until now. As I said, this was the longest part of today's video. I still have a few things I want to talk about. I said that this was going to be a long video. I don't think anyone's going to really watch through it the entire day. Or the entire time. But I'm going to do a super cringe thing to see who actually watched it. And I want you to write bacon ball if you watch the video until now. If you do care, that would be really cool. Bacon ball. Just random word. I don't know. I came up with it now. So that was the 2 reasons why I've not been streaming. There's also a third one, but it's a rather small one compared to the other ones, which is that recently War Thunder has been feeling kind of stale for me. It's been a very icky thing. I've said for quite a while that I would always love War Thunder and everything. I couldn't know. It's not a bad game. I don't hate it. I really don't. It's just that there's nothing really for me to do, really, and I find it hard to entertain you guys because I'm not even entertaining myself. So yeah, that was the third reason. Those are all the reasons for not streaming. Maybe I can find another one for you guys. Maybe I missed something, but so far those are the main reasons. So lots of stress with work, the problems with my brother that make me angry all the time, and the combination of, you know, just War Thunder not being the most fun game to me recently. But yeah, now it's time to talk about the future. AKA, like, when am I gonna return? Will there be other games in the future? Yeah. I seriously haven't given a proper thought to when I'll be properly back. But I know that it's gonna be after work, right? I still have another week to go after this one, of work. So that's the minimum amount possible for, you know, to just, yeah, it's the minimal amount of time that is required for me to be back. At least a week. And what day do we have today? Yeah, so it's Tuesday today, so yeah, just a couple more days in a week until the minimum amount of time has been reached till I can start streaming again. But yeah, you can expect me to probably be a bit, you know, different, probably a bit exhausted after a couple of weeks of work for the first time, and you know, I'll probably still be a bit pissed because of the situation of my brother. I don't think that he's gonna apologize anytime soon because he's too stubborn and he doesn't think that he did something wrong. But apart from that, I should be back somewhat normally. I will have a few weeks of time between when I stop working and when we go to vacation, but it's actually not going to be that long. I just realized we're going on vacation on the 5th of August, and I'm going to stop work on the 1st of August. Wait. I'm going to stop work at... Yeah. No. Wait. I'm going to stop work at the 5th of August. So... No! Sorry. Fuck. On Thursday the 4th. Sorry. I don't work on Fridays. That's why I was confused. So, yeah. I actually won't have a lot of time, so I'll be at vacation right after work. So, you know, it's sort of shit, but it is the way that it is. And after vacation, so it's actually going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks and 5 more days 2 weeks and 5 days is the maximum amount of time, or the minimum amount of time till I can be finally, properly back. We'll be away on vacation for 1 week, and I'll be working another week and 5 days. So it's just difficult for me to find time. But after that, the only thing I'm gonna have to do is go to driving lessons, study for my test that I have in German. By the way, I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I have passed the year. I've gotten a thing which is called the clause, which is a one time in every 2 years thing, which is when you have one negative grade, one non-passing grade, like I do. I have a 5, which is a non-passing grade, which is the only non-passing grade. If all the other subjects are okay, the teachers will hold a short conference where they will quickly talk about if a student is going to get a clause or not, and they decide based on the statistics of the student if he deserves a clause or not. And the clause basically means even if you have a 5, you will be able to get up into the next year. I'm not going to rely on that clause. I'm going to do a test, and I'm going to study for that test, and I'm going to do that after the vacation. So the 3 things I'm going to have to do for after the vacation is get back to streaming, driving lessons, and studying. So I'll have a lot more time than I do now, and I'm probably going to be more relaxed after the vacation. I'm going to go with my brother, so that's going to be interesting unless we resolve that. And yeah, so, in 2 weeks and 5 days, I will be back. Probably could be 1 day longer because I need some time to get back home properly after vacation, but 2 weeks, 5 days to 2 weeks, 6 days should be fine. But yeah, can you expect any other games in the future? Maybe some Minecraft, but it's so easy for some people to say, oh, well, just stream games, that you like. But as a streamer that is trying to grow his community, the only thing that I think of is what you guys will like. And I know from statistics and everything that less viewers watch when I play a game like Minecraft or play a game like other than War Thunder, right? It's just an understandable thing. Most people are not here because of me. Most people are here for the content that they watch and just to have something on in the background. They don't want it to be Minecraft. They want it to be War Thunder. I understand that. Like, I totally do. But yeah, most likely there isn't going to be a change, but I'm going to try to spice up War Thunder a bit. Try to do some things that I find fun. Maybe remove the vehicle requests for a bit so I can adjust back to, playing the things I want. But yeah, I am sure that some of you have already gone away from my channel and have started watching others more, and you might like some other streamers more than me. I'm totally fine with that. Like, I really am. Not sure who is gonna wait till I'm back and be ready and be there at the promised time. I will give you an actual date soon via Discord. But yeah, I hope that, a lot of you guys will be waiting. I'd love to get back to streaming and sort of be in the numbers that that I'm used to. But I know that's a lot to ask. That's just, my wishful thinking. I really don't want to pressure anyone into it. I honestly don't. So if you are there, I really appreciate it. If you feel like, I don't deserve you guys in the your guys' presence because, I've been gone for so long and, you found so many other cool streamers, then that's totally fine. Like, really, those people deserve so much more love because they have been, just absolutely ruining their social lives and their, sleep schedules and everything for your guys' entertainment. And I understand that these people deserve the love that they do, and I want to give those people the love that they deserve. So yeah, I will be back soon-ish. Hope you guys can still wait for that. But yeah, again, I want to say sorry to everyone I've gotten a lot of DMs from people asking me like, hey, what's going on? I've not had the guts to reply to them. I was too embarrassed. I have gotten a lot of pings in my server from people. And I'm sorry to you all. I really am. I also will make a short version of this video where I only really talk about some of the things. I'm gonna cut out a lot of the mumbling that I have and the rambling on about things that don't make sense. And it's gonna be a shorter version, and I'm gonna upload this, but I don't want to put in that work now. I came home from 9 hours and 35 minutes of work today, and I'm just tired. And I'm gonna go sign up for driving lessons now, and yeah. Hope you guys can forgive me. Hope you guys can understand. It's none of you guys' fault that I've been gone. Don't you worry. Yeah. I still have some other things on my mind, but I think this video's been long enough. 1.5 hours of just an idiot talking and venting about his problems. I think that's enough. Yeah, there might also be another video where I talk about some other issues I've been having. But so far, these are the relevant issues. These are the reasons why I haven't been active and why I haven't replied to any of you guys. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at this. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me in the Discord, in the comment section about whatever. If I messed something up or was too personal with something, also please tell me. Just, yeah. Please note that I'm not proud of anything that I have done. I'm not proud of me being a childish fuck when it comes to this stuff, but I feel like if I back down, I will lose. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Anyone that made it to the end, I appreciate that you actually spent the time to listen to my concerns. Yeah. Thank you guys. I really, really, really appreciate it, and I hope you guys understand. Bye-bye. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you soon.